Hey there guys, it's the Ramos Online, and we're going to take a look through the description, or rather the comment section of my Trick Room team video number 6, and see what kind of Pokemon you guys want to see me do on Showdown. So let's have a look. Quickatoon, Wigglytuff, Sunkern, oh, good lord, I'm not a miracle worker, okay? Flareon, Aurorus, Fiona, Dragalge, Raticate, Trick Room, Dialga, Beedrill, whoa, that's a lot there. Beedrill, Probopass, Bastiodon, Noctowl. Oh, I like Noctowl. I do like some Noctowl. So that is definitely a possibility. Shuckle, offensive. Wiggly. Is that Wigglytuff or just saying Wiggly? Girafarig and or Stantler. Golduck. Jigglypuff is this guy's friend's favourite Pokemon. We've got Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, show more, Glade, Doubles Arcanine, and Doubles Hawlucha. Physical Hydreigon, Exeggutor. I think that's about it for the suggestions. I'm stuck between Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff. Sorry, Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, and Noctowl. So, why don't we just do both? How about that? So, the first one we're going to look at, Wigglytuff. So, Wigglytuff got a new ability this generation. It got competitive. And what competitive does is, when your stats are lowered, your special attack gets boosted by 2. This is great for countering Pokemon that use Intimidate. So, that is the only ability I can really recommend. Frisk can work, but competitive. Why wouldn't you want to boost your attacking stats? It's down to 50. So let's have a look at your stats. There is a very impressive base HP. So its defenses are 140, 45, and 50. Very, very low defensively, I have to say. I'm going to quickly see what kind of defenses Jigglypuff has. See if it can be a Eviolite Pokemon. I think that might be a yes. This could work as an Eviolite Pokemon, maybe. So what I'm going to quickly do here is maximize these two stats. And stick 4 there. So you're going to have very high HP. Very, very high HP. But you're going to want a plus nature there and a minus attacking nature. So a bold nature. That looks good. Looks very good. Let's see if we can get the HP to 200. So now we're going to have to lose 70. So if we lose 35 from here, or 34, and then another 34 here. I mean, we could just ignore HP. We're going to do that. We're going to ignore HP because Eviolite will benefit more for maximizing the defenses. So you're looking at about just over, I think maybe. Let's see. So that, God Lord. So that'll be just over 100 on both its defenses with that sort of base HP. Jigglypuff is going to take a hit with Eviolite. Definitely. Wigglytuff, the build we're probably going to give Wigglytuff is a 240 build, and then maybe maximize your defense and put the last 16 into special defense. That's probably the best way of running it. So you want to be like a physical wall. This is if you're, oh god, what am I thinking? This is if you're going to be a wall. So yeah, competitive still works, so you can get some damage in. Wigglytuff gets both screens. It gets reflect, and it gets light screen. So those options are there. I think it gets wish as well. It does get wish, so you can be passing wish around with this thing. It does not get Moonblast, which is very unfortunate. It does get Dazzling Gleam. So this is a very defensive build. You can run the exact same moves on Jigglypuff. Dazzling Gleam. You can also actually run Hyper Voice, which has higher base power. Its base power is 10 higher. Still gets stab, but you are going to be walled by ghost types. Dazzling Gleam at least hits everything. Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff also get Psychic. And I think they get Psyshock as well. That was a lie, apparently. So they get Psychic. So if you're worried about getting walled out by a Gengar, which will resist a Dazzling Gleam, you can give them both Psychic type moves. Alternatively, other moves Jigglypuff can get. What's the move called? It is Perish Song. You can give it Perish Song, which will basically force a switch out in at least 3 turns. You're going to be ruling some things out. Can you get Heal Pulse? You get Heal Bell and Heal Pulse. So you can actually cure status moves, you can use Heal Pulse. Of course, you're going to make sure that you can actually get these in Gen 6, otherwise you're going to have to do all your breeding in Gen 5 or sooner. Going to have to double check where you get some of these moves. But this should give you like a rough idea of the kind of moves you could give your Jigglypuff or Wigglytuff. So my Jigglypuff, I'm probably going to keep the Dazzling Gleam. Actually no, I might just remove Dazzling Gleam. And if I'm doing that, I'm either going to give it Friend Guard or Cute Charm. Friend Guard on Jigglypuff is probably a lot better. I did not know Jigglypuff got Friend Guard. Friend Guard is an ability limited to baby Pokemon, and I think one fully evolved Pokemon gets Friend Guard in Gen 6. Did not know Jigglypuff got this. What it does is it reduces the damage by 25% for your allies. So your Pokemon next to Jigglypuff is only going to be taking, it's only going to be taking 75% of a damaging hit. So if a move would normally just OHKO, it will definitely work with Friend Guard. So with Friend Guard and Heal Pulse, you can keep your ally alive a lot longer. You can give it Wish for its own longevity. This is double battles, by the way. This is focusing on double battles. Gonna remove the Heal Bell, honestly. Keeping Heal Pulse, keeping Wish for the personal sustain. You can get Counter, Copycat, Charge Beam, Brick Bake. You can bake some bricks. Body Slam. Woohoo! Woohoo! So give it a minus special attacking nature, and yeah, you might be able to get some body slams in there. That's if you want. The good thing about Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff is that their offensive stats for Jigglypuff 45-45 and 70-85. They're not the best, but they're close enough to the point where you can actually run either physical or special. So either one. So what kind of moves would I give it? Drain Punch is probably a transfer move. Dazzling Gleam, Dazzling Gleam and Hyper Voice will probably be some, if you want just to have some damage out. Otherwise, you can just give it Reflect and Light Screen, and here you now just have a pure support Jigglypuff. I can actually see this working. I might even breed one. I know it's crazy. I might just breed one. If you're looking for Wigglytuff to be more offensive, make sure you have that competitive ability. Because it's base speed only being 45, if you used to max it out, if I can, I don't know, lower down the attack, I guess. So let's max out that. 106. Choice Scarf is going to make that about 163. About, yeah, no, dead on 163, I think. Choice Scarf is by 1.5, isn't it? Choice Scarf, yeah, 1.5. So that would be, Ice Cream Van! You probably didn't hear it, but I can hear it. Anyway, sorry. So 163, yeah. No, what am I saying? 159. 159 base speed. Once you have maximized your speed, so it's not base speed. I'm an idiot. So that's okay, it's possible. And then obviously you want to maximize your special attack stat. And you're going to want to switch in on a Pokemon with Intimidate, or a Pokemon that's going to try and lower your stats. Because then you can get the competitive boost, your special attack gets boosted to 274, which is some very intimidating special attack, especially from a Wigglytuff. With that, you will definitely go on Dazzling Gleam and Hyper Voice for your stab. You could give it a Hyper Beam, a Hyper Beam, there it is. Hyper Voice, you could give it a Hyper Beam as well. Charge Beam is another good one. I actually run Charge Beam on my Wigglytuff, just for that 70% chance to boost my special attack. It's great for taking out threats that are either close to death, water type, or flying type. The great thing about Wigglytuff is because it used to be pure normal type, it had the move pool of just a normal type. Now it's got the additional Fairy type. It does get stab on Fairy type moves, but I think the only one it can learn is Dazzling Gleam and Play Rough. But yeah, you can go things like Blizzard, Flamethrower, Fire Blast. Flamethrower is probably going to be a nice coverage move. You could probably put Fire Blast there as well. I just prefer Flamethrower for the accuracy. You can also actually run a Modest Nature, or maybe even a Quiet Nature, and just go for the Trick Room version. Now this could be devastating in a Trick Room, because you can boost your HP even more. Look at that, 247 HP. The defenses are low, but you're going to survive 1 or 2 hits. Choice Scarf, you might be able to switch it out for just a Life Orb and just go to town with that. Choice Specs is another one. Choice Specs, obviously you don't want a Choice Scarf in a Trick Room, but Choice Specs, this would be a Wigglytuff to fear, especially if you stick it next to a very powerful physical threat. Your opponent might want to try and intimidate it, not realizing Wigglytuff has competitive, and then you just go to town. So that's Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff. Now we're going to look at it was Noctowl. We're going to look at Noctowl. I love Noctowl. I absolutely love Noctowl. I use one myself. Tinted Lens is a brilliant hidden ability. I'm not sure if it's out yet. It probably is. I personally prefer Insomnia. Now, the interesting thing here is it does get Keen Eye. While it does state here it prevents other Pokemon from lowering this Pokemon's accuracy, it was actually changed in Generation 6 to ignore evasion. So Minimize and Double Team is ignored thanks to Keen Eye, but I can just double check that by going to Keen Eye on why Keen Eye 2? Keen Eye on Bulbapedia. In Gen 6, Keen Eye also ignores any boosts to the opponent's evasion. So as you can see, that will completely ignore evasion. So if you wanted to go for an attacking Noctowl, you can. I prefer Insomnia just so you don't get put to sleep. It's great for switching in on Spore users, on a Pokemon you know is going to try and put you to sleep. Leftovers is probably the best item you can give Noctowl, at least for the build I'm about to show you. Obviously, let's get it back down to level 50. So the build I run is I maximize my HP and I maximize my special defense. And I go for the plus special defense nature, the minus attack nature, and the last 4 EVs you can stick anywhere. I think I stick mine into defense. 163, I cannot read, 162 special defense and 207 HP. This is a special wall you do not want to mess with. You are not taking this down unless you hit it with stab super effective moves. So from there you can actually give it the Roost. What Roost does is if you are slower, or say if you're faster than the opponent, you just become pure normal type. So electric type moves and rock type moves will not be super effective. So against rock types that tend to be slow, you can Roost and you will not take super effective damage from their rock type moves. Another one that I actually run on my Noctowl is Magic Coat, which bounces non-damaging moves back. Things like Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks always bounce back. It is basically Magic Bounce in move form. You have to use it on the turn the opponent decides to go for their status move, but if you can predict this, it can really mess them up. You can also run, which I run on mine, the Toxic, so I am pretty much a Toxic stall set. Very dirty, very nasty. And for attacking, you actually get Nightshade on Noctowl. Honestly, Noctowl really should have been Flying Psychic. It looks smart, it's got some good Psychic and Ghost type moves. It gets Nightshade. I mean, that is guaranteed 50 or 100 HP damage per turn, or every time you get to attack. Very, very intimidating for anything that tries to sell up defensively. You can actually just replace this with a stab like Aerial Ace. Your special attack stat is higher. Extra Sensory, Air Slash. Yeah, you get Air Slash, there we are. Air Slash is a good stab move. Honestly, more often than not, I regret having the Nightshade when I clearly have a opponent I can Air Slash and OHKO them like a Chestnut, which has happened before. But the Nightshade allows you just to hit more things. You can get ruled out by normal types, so do watch out for that. So that is going to be your defensive Noctowl. So you can, Nightshade, Air Slash. You can give it Psychic, Psyshock, Extra Sensory. Can it get Dark Pulse? No, it cannot. Can it get Shadow Ball? Yes, it can. Very, very interesting. So it's a very good defensive wall. But the other way you can run Noctowl is actually with that Keen Eye ability. And what we're going to do is we're going to maximize your special attack, and we're going to go for the Modest. And we're actually just going to go and maximize our HP as well. Put the last 4 into special defense. And we are going to lower our attack. Unless you want to go for a Trick Room Noctowl. I absolutely love my Trick Room, you can tell, can't you? In that case, go for that one. Obviously, let's get down to level 50 so we can actually see the stats. So, yeah, it's 67. That is completely workable in Trick Room. That is a very, very beautiful Trick Room number. So this will allow Noctowl to move first every turn inside a Trick Room, almost every turn at least, because you might have a Pokemon that's slower. But and also be very tanky. But if you aren't using Trick Room, then go for like just minus attack. Go for that modest nature. What am I doing there? Just play one EVs there. So with the Keen Eye, the moves you want to give Noctowl, you definitely want to have some stab on Noctowl. So we're going to go for the Air Slash, and it doesn't get Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice is probably most likely going to be a move to the move. I'm not going to double check it now because this video is running a bit longer than I wanted it to, but it can get that. So if you wanted to give it that as its stab normal type move, then you're going to want to give it Psychic or Psyshock. Can it learn Psyshock? I'm pretty sure it can. No, it can't. God damn, I'm an idiot today. And Shadow Ball to round off that set works pretty well. This gives Noctowl a surprising amount of range. You can hit quite a lot of things with this. You could not bring Psychic because Air Slash will be hitting the because you brain is not working. You could just not bring Psychic because Shadow Ball and Air Slash together hit everything super effectively that Psychic can as well. So if you don't want to bring Psychic, you can bring Nightshade, you can bring Magic Coat, you can bring Roost, because you are going to be quite specially tanky even without the investment into special defense. But you can give it the Rest, Reflect. It can set up Reflect and Light Screen, I'm pretty sure. No, it cannot. I'm an idiot. But you can get the Reflect up, which is great when it's defense that is so low. So you could stick Reflect there, you can stick Roost there, you can really stick whatever you want there. Whirlwind, you can force other Pokemon to be switched out. So those are kind of like the ways you can run Noctowl. I really prefer the defensive Noctowl, but attacking Noctowl can work. Give it any item, maybe Choice Specs. That might work. With that Keen Eye, they can't dodge. There's nothing they can do. Evasion does not matter. So I hope you guys enjoyed me taking a look at Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, and Noctowl. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, let me know in the comment section below. I'm really just kind of testing the waters to see what you guys want to see. So if you like what you saw, like and favourite, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I would love you if you did. And I guess I will see you guys in the next video. So have a lovely day.